A fleet of Russian warships, including a nuclear-powered submarine, reached Cuban waters on Wednesday, marking the start of military exercises in the Caribbean. This bold move is viewed as a significant projection of Russian strength amid escalating tensions with the West over Ukraine. 3 Russian ships, adorned with Russian and Cuban flags, slowly crossed the mouth of Havana Bay, guided by small boats through the narrow channel. The flagship frigate was welcomed with a 21-gun salute, as sailors in dress uniform stood in military formation. Following behind, a nuclear-powered submarine highlighted Russia's advanced naval capabilities and strategic reach. The U.S. military expects the exercises to involve several Russian ships and support vessels, with potential stops in Venezuela. This development comes just weeks after President Joe Biden authorized Ukraine to use U.S.-provided weapons to strike inside Russia, prompting President Vladimir Putin to suggest potential asymmetrical steps by Russia. Aboard Air Force One, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan downplayed concerns over the Russian naval fleet's presence in Cuban waters. Speaking to reporters as President Biden headed to Italy for the G7 summit, Sullivan emphasized that similar deployments have occurred under multiple U.S. administrations, including those of Presidents Bush, Obama, Trump, and now Biden.
We will see how this unfolds in the coming days, but we have seen this kind of thing before, and we expect to see this kind of thing again, and I'm not going to read into any particular motives by Russia.
In other words, it looks a lot like those previous exercises.
There are elements in this one that are different, that are distinct, but fundamentally the notion that Russia takes, some of its Russian naval assets and does a port visit to Havana is something we have seen before. One of the distinct things is, I think we have gone out and explained, is they have a submarine associated with this port visit that they have not had before. They also have similar capabilities on a surface ship that they have had before.
Sullivan's remarks aimed to reassure the public and international observers that the U.S. remains vigilant but not alarmed by Russia's naval activities near its borders. In Moscow, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with his Cuban counterpart Bruno Eduardo Rodriguez Parrilla, underscoring the strong ties between the two nations as Russian warships arrived in Havana. The Cuban Foreign Ministry emphasized that the Russian ships, which will stay in Havana until June 17th, do not carry nuclear weapons and pose no threat to the region. Lavrov expressed gratitude for Cuba's principled stance on the Ukraine conflict.
We are grateful to our Cuban friends for their principled position on the situation around Ukraine. From the very beginning, Havana assessed the ongoing events, outlining absolutely correct and true reasons for what had begun and what the West had been preparing for many years. We are grateful to our Cuban friends for the fact that they are also promoting this objective, consistent line at various forums, including within the framework of the non-aligned movement.
The arrival of Russian naval forces in Cuba is seen as a clear demonstration of Moscow's military power and reach. It serves as a reminder of Russia's global capabilities and strengthens its alliances with Cuba and Venezuela, challenging U.S. influence in the region. Russia's naval display of might comes on the same day when Russian Defense Ministry released a video of missiles being transported by a military convoy and loaded onto a warship as part of its tactical nuclear drills. The ministry said in a statement that soldiers from the Leningrad military district practiced mounting the warheads onto Iskander-M missile systems. This deployment, in response to Western actions in Ukraine, signals that Russia is prepared to assert its interests globally. For the US, the challenge lies in balancing a measured response with necessary vigilance to deter any potential aggressive actions by Russia. Taking note of the Russian nuclear maneuvers, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg underscored the increasing nuclear threats faced by the alliance, emphasizing the importance of a robust and modernized nuclear deterrent. Addressing the media, Stoltenberg highlighted the dangerous nuclear rhetoric and actions from Russia, the rapid modernization of China's nuclear arsenal, and the persistent threats from North Korea and Iran. Stoltenberg's remarks come amid heightened tensions following Russia's announcement of deploying nuclear weapons to Belarus and increased nuclear exercises. He also pointed out the broader global nuclear challenges, noting China's significant investments in modernizing its nuclear capabilities, which are expected to result in a substantial increase in the number of intercontinental missiles capable of reaching NATO territory within a few years. The nuclear ambitions of North Korea and Iran further complicate the global security landscape.
What we have seen over the last years and months is a dangerous nuclear rhetoric from the Russian side. We have seen that Russia has announced that they have deployed nuclear weapons to Belarus. And we have also seen some more exercises, nuclear exercises from the Russian side. And we also have to bear in mind that we don't only face nuclear challenges from Russia, but also from China, which is now heavily modernizing their nuclear capabilities, and which we expect to have a large number of nuclear missiles, much higher than today, within a few years. And many of these missiles are, of course, intercontinental, can reach NATO territory. And then we have the nuclear program of North Korea and the efforts by Iran. So for all these reasons, we have to be able to clearly communicate that our nuclear deterrent is effective, secure, and reliable, and that's what we are making clear by modernizing, by exercising, and communicating what we do.
In response to these threats, Stoltenberg emphasized NATO's ongoing efforts to ensure its nuclear deterrent remains effective, secure, and reliable. This includes the adaptation and modernization of nuclear capabilities, highlighted by the recent declaration of the Netherlands' F-35 fighter jets as ready for NATO's nuclear mission and the ongoing modernization of US nuclear weapons in Europe.
This ministerial will also include a meeting of the Nuclear Planning Group, where allies will discuss the ongoing adaptation of nuclear capabilities to the current security environment. We have made significant progress in this adaptation. In June, the first F-35 fighter jets were declared ready by the Netherlands for NATO's nuclear mission. And the US is modernizing its nuclear weapons in Europe. As the challenges evolve, NATO's nuclear mission remains the same: to preserve peace, prevent coercion, and deter aggression.
He also reiterated NATO's unwavering support for Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression, stating, "Russia's actions will not stop us from supporting Ukraine." The upcoming meeting of NATO's Nuclear Planning Group is set to address the ongoing adaptation of nuclear capabilities to the current security environment, ensuring that NATO's nuclear mission continues to preserve peace, prevent coercion, and deter aggression.